violența asta informațională, cum i-a afectat pe cât de mulți.
Референдум нужно поставить штамп против, потому что не меняли Конституцию. Если поменяют Конституцию, то у нас точно будет война. Мы, конечно, хотим в Европу, но в Европу нас возьмут после 30-го года. Это еще вилами по воде писано. А она нас всех агитирует.
Hello, everybody.
Для вступления в Европу. А это референдум не для вступления в Европу, а для изменения Конституции. А если она изменит Конституцию, снимет нейтралитет со страны, это точно мы будем как Украина.
Chipuți că asta îi vorbește cu femeile, cu toate femeile. Cu toate femeile din chaturile cele a lor.
We have pet number 1 who is asleep. I have my sweater over here, and then we have pet number 2 who is asleep. And in the middle, it's me. So let's do a bit of knitting. Hello everyone. Sorry, I had a video on the background. Elisane, hi Elisane. I am having a lazy Sunday because today we had elections and I have so many emotions related to our presidential elections. I'm streaming from Eastern Europe, from a small country called Moldova. And because it's been such a day all over the place, I decided, okay, let me take half an hour and do a little bit of lazy knitting. If you followed me before, you know that I'm knitting on this sweater for my brother. Last night, finally, I did the double folded neck collar, and it was incredible. It was something that I've never done before. And then my dog decided to just sleep on this sweater. This is why it's full of dog hair, unfortunately, but I will clean it up. I swear I will clean it up before give it to my brother. So after I did the double folded collar, I picked up stitches for the sleeve, and here where my life became a bit more complicated. When I picked up stitches, I don't know why it turned out that it was so many stitches. And then when I did the first knit row, knit and purl, because I'm doing the fisherman rib stitch, I kind of cut back the number of stitches so that I have less. And then I started doing the pattern, the fisherman rib stitch, and it basically exploded. So let's say, oh, how do I explain to you? Let's say this is the sleeve hole, and when I started knitting and making the pattern, the sleeve, instead of going straight, it went like this, because I started with so many stitches here as a purl and knit, and then when I started doing the fisherman rib stitch, they just exploded, and it looked like it was going a lot of volume to the right and to the left, you know. It basically bloomed. So what I did was I unraveled it back to the stitches that I picked from the sleeve, and then what I did was every third or fourth stitch I did a decrease. Hi KR2Z, hello. Give this video a thumbs up before you go. KR2Z, where are you from? Oh, thank you for the question. I'm from Chisinau, Moldova. Moldova is a small country from Eastern Europe, right next to Ukraine. So in between Ukraine to the east and Romania to the west. And the capital city is Chisinau. And this is my knitting channel and also crochet. And I'm making a sweater for my brother. And where are you from, KR2Z? Sorry, I am whispering a little bit because pet number 1 is right there. Finally, Nadezhda, my cat, fell asleep. And by the way, I crocheted this blanket also on this channel. You can see how ginormous it is. And this is me, and this is pet number 2. My dog is asleep. Olena Volodymyrivna. Hello. Hello. You're in Russia. Hello. You're from Russia. Hello. KR2Z. I am in Moldova. Probably you heard about Moldova. So today we have presidential elections, and I want to relax a little bit. It is 3 o'clock. I just had lunch, basically a coffee. I didn't have lunch, I just had coffee. Danielle says hi. Hello, Danielle. I'm working on a sleeve with this chocolate brown color. This is going to be a sleeve, and I start, and it's going to be like this. Olena says, Kit moje imię Nadia. So, Nadia, hello, Nadia. This is my cat. Her name is Nadia as well. Моя кошка тоже Надя. Надюся. Наделина. Надичок. And so, because I had such a, I don't want to say crazy day from this morning, just like active day, I want to take like half an hour, do a little bit of knitting. Oh, 15:15. This is a good sign. Danielle, how are you? What are you doing? Hello, Danielle. I'm good. I was just saying that I was at the voting booth because today we have elections in Moldova. And after voting, I came back home and I decided to relax and to do a little bit of knitting. This is going to be a sleeve on a sweater. I finished the neck last night. I made a collar, double folded collar. There we go. Unfortunately, my dog slept on it and it has a bit of dog hair. And today I'm working on the sleeve. What is your name? KR2Z. My name is Christine. Well, in Moldova I am called Christina. But on the internet I am Christine. But you can call me Christina as well. DJ. DJ. Arbuz. Very funny name. Oh my god, I woke up my cat. Nadelina. Go back to sleep. Имя Уркал. I don't know what that means. Извините, мой русский не так развитый. Я не знаю, что Уркал. Yes, my cat woke up. Okay, I have to be quiet because my cat, Nadezhda, when she is awake, she goes like tick, 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 and starts poking on my dog. And then my dog barks back. And then they have like a fight here. So let's make, my intention is not to make a lot of noise and to just like do a bit of crochet because, hey Nadelina, because I really need to focus on using all the yarn because look how much yarn I have there. I need to finish it, but if I'm just gonna mess around, I'm not gonna do it. So what is your name? Oh, I said Christina. Daniel Adaladna. Okay. And KR2Z says cat beautiful. Oh, thank you. Cat Надежда, Наделина. Кошка имя Надежда. And кошка хочет беспокоить собаку. Но я этого не хочу, потому что собака спит. So my cat, I feel like she's gonna start teasing the dog, so let's keep an eye on her. Okay, my sweet girl. Okay, guys, thank you so much for all the questions. I think I can start knitting slowly. Let's release my hands. I still haven't gotten the... Oh gosh. I still haven't gotten the... What's it called? The phone holder. So I am doing the fisherman rib stitch. And now I'm at the row which does knit and purl, knit and purl. And I'm loving this chocolate color. I mean, it's not true to color. In reality, it's a bit darker. I see on the phone it's more mahogany, more reddish. In reality, it is quite brown, a very pleasant brown. And I'm using this Filanina merino wool from Romania. I've said it and I'll say it again and again and again. I'm loving this company. It is a small yarn producer, and look at their brand. It's a cute girl knitting on a giant yarn ball. Unfortunately, they do not ship outside Romania. They are in Căpățâneni Argeș, Flatex Lana manufacturing. Unfortunately, they do not ship outside, so I had to find somehow a friend in Romania, had it shipped to their house, and then they brought it to Chisinau when they traveled. So now I have the row of just knits and purls, and I know that many people purl in a different way, but this is how I do it. And even somebody told me that this is incorrect because I twist somehow the stitches, and that's okay. I don't care too much. What I do care is to finish it. I am a completionist, not a perfectionist, so what is important for me is to make progress and finish it and give it to my brother and move on to the next one, next project. Hold on. I think my dog is awake. Oh, please don't. Okay. And my cat is here. So I'm gonna lift my leg a little bit so that my cat doesn't tease my dog. Are you gonna be good? Nadja. Are you gonna be good? Nadja. Nadelina. Nadичок. Okay. Okay, you goofy girl. Oh my god, I don't think I ever had 13 people watching. Thank you so much for staying. And before you go, give this video a thumbs up. Hold on. I was gonna listen to something so you don't have to listen to my annoying voice. Oh, Elisa Nye said, recently I did 2 knitting for wrist like a bracelet just all of a sudden. Thank you for inspiring me. Oh my god, you did a bracelet? Just for wrist like a bracelet. Just all of a sudden. Did you have yarn? You have yarn in your house? Because whenever I want to do something, I have to go and buy stuff because I don't have just yarn laying around. Okay, thank you for letting me know, Elisane. Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's continue. The thing is, every time I start a new row, I have to switch in the entire sweater. So that's the challenge. And I'm using my short cable needles. 4mm. I started with 3.5, but then I was just like, come on, I need to make faster progress, and I took my 4mm. I'm not trying to work on this project forever. I want to move on. It's been already months, so I am ready. Oh, hi everybody. I don't know if I said hi. I know some people come and some people go. So hello. Thank you for stopping by. And before you leave, give this video a thumbs up. I know it's weird because you only see 2 hands and most of you don't know what is happening. So if you don't know, I am knitting. I'm knitting on a sleeve. Hold on, maybe I should turn on the light to have better light. Okay, the good news is that my cat left, so she's not gonna tease my dog. If you have been in my previous lives, you know that before going to bed, I take like half an hour to just relax and do a bit of crochet. And I did this entire blanket, which you see my leg saying hello to you. I'm saying hello with my hand and with my leg. I did this entire ginormous blanket, 2 meters by 210, just by connecting every night and doing about 30 to 40 minutes of crochet every evening. So this really helps me to be motivated and to just like vent to myself and to you about my day. So that's what's up. And I wanted to do half an hour of knitting because I just had lunch. And my lunch was very light, so I'm thinking to eat again, but maybe knitting a little bit will help me to calm down and not eat so much. I'm trying to cut off. And my neighbors are just going. I don't know if you can hear it. They put on some loud music. That's okay. That is okay. Oh, Shetika Woods, hello. You're my favorite. Mahtab, hello. Hello, hello. Okay, shall we listen to something? Shall we listen to something? Shetika, I did the neck double color and then I just took a break. But look, I am loving it. I've never done this. I'm loving it. I'm going to do the same type of color to all of my sweaters. I love it. Obviously, it is full of fluff. I'm not sure about this row of pearl, but when I look at it, it's incredible. I don't know why I never tried it earlier. I was intimidated by the fact that I would have to sew it. But after I saw a method of no sew, just with the stitches, just with the needles, picking up stitches and doing a bind off, it's incredible. I love it. And it's so solid and serious and polished. No more like halfway there, you know? It looks like a serious piece now. And I picked up stitches for the sleeve. Hold on. And I picked up way too many stitches. And when I started knitting, the sleeve just exploded like this because I picked up stitches and did a knitting, all knits. And then when I started doing the fisherman rib, you know that this one is bulkier and it exploded. So I had to unravel it and first do a decrease of every 4th stitch. And this allowed for the remaining stitches to open up beautifully, you know, to have enough space. Because the fisherman rib stitch, it is quite voluminous. And imagine if I would have, for example here, if I had 10 stitches and all of the stitches would have been left, then I would have had like this effect. I don't know if you understand me. But now I'm doing the row of simple knits and purls, and the orange thingy is my, I don't want to say progress keeper, shows the beginning of the row. And this means that now I'm doing the fisherman rib stitch, which means instead of doing a typical knit right here, hold on, a typical knit right here, I'm going underneath and then simple purl, and then underneath, simple purl underneath. And I should really count how many stitches do I have now after all the decreases, so that when I do the second sleeve, I have a better understanding. Oh my god, I don't know if my camera picks it up that my neighbors are listening to really loud music. Let's continue with this pattern. And what time is it? It's only 3:30 and I can already feel the sunlight not being enough for me, so I'm just gonna switch on a light or two. Wait, is it on? It's on. It's already a bit dark, which is a pity, of course. I would love to have sunlight for longer, but as you know, but I didn't expect it to be this dark at 3 o'clock. It's quite dark. Okay. The biggest challenge right now is actually to twist around the entire sweater. And I felt this problem at the previous sweater as well, because I was working on pretty wide sleeves. So every time I had to twist around the entire sweater, I was like, oh my god, is there maybe like a better way to do that? And I understood that another way, less cumbersome way, would be to make the sleeves separately and then sew them. And I remember I did that in my student years. I knitted the sleeves separately, and when it was time to assemble it, I messed up completely, and the sleeves did not match the sleeve holes, and I was unable to sew it together. And to this day, those sleeves are just like separate somewhere in my parents' house. So I think because of that, I never wanted to repeat it. And I always look for patterns that are no sew. So I start from bottom up or from top down, and I just knit everything in one go. Or like picking up stitches. Because I can't trust myself to make separate sleeves and then sew them together. But who knows? So Mahtab says, show the blanket. Of course, my pleasure. Hold on. Slowly, so that we do not wake up my dog. So the blanket is from one side of the bed all the way to, at the end. Those are my dog's toy. He destroyed them. And then all the way there. And then it's a little bit folded. And this is me, because I'm always cold. And then this is the sweater. And then it continues all the way. And this is the end. So as you can tell, it is ginormous. 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 Wait, let me think about another word. Ginormous. Humongous. Wait, I know other words. I know other languages. Énormément. Incredible. And this is the sweater that I'm working on. Hold on. I don't wanna skip any stitches at the sleeve. Wait, other words. Humongous, ginormous, incredible, Wait, what was the Russian word for big? Большое. Слишком большое. Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. Mahtab. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because to tell you the truth, this was the biggest project I've ever made. And I'm not sure if I ever want to make it again. It's a gift for my brother, but I have not given it to him yet. So I still need to wash it, clean the dog hair, and then make it nice, and then I'll give it to him. And my brother says it's okay because he lives at the farm. He says we also have cats and dogs and cows and horses. Don't worry about so much about the dog hair. But still, it's going to be a gift. I don't want it to look like a piece of garbage. I will clean it up, take the sticky thingy, clean the dog hair, and then wash it. And by the way, it's a very good idea to wash the projects. And in my case, I will wash it in the washing machine, because if there is a loose point or if there is a weak stitch which will not resist the washing, I want to see it now, because I'm able to correct the problem or sew it or fix it somehow. But if I give it to my brother and then he washes it and there's a stitch coming loose, I mean, he's not going to call me and tell me. He's just going to throw the blanket into a corner. But I don't want that. And I want him to use it. I made another one, a bit smaller. And that one lives in the guest room. And I don't like that. I want the blanket to be on top of the bed. So this blanket will be on top of his bed, not on the guest room, because the first one that I made had a lot of white in it. And he said, oh, I'm afraid I'm gonna mess it up. So let it sit in the guest room, maybe better. Oh, pet sleeping. Yes. My doggy, Remy, he's asleep, and thank God, I love him so much, but if he is awake, he's just like bouncing everywhere. He destroyed a few toys and now he's asleep. And then right over there, you see my cat. She was here asleep, but then I don't know, I touched her and she moved over there near the radiator, because in Moldova we have the heating, centralized heating. And finally, the heating was turned on by the mayor. So my cats are only sitting near the radiator. Okay, you guys, I don't want to annoy you with my voice. So let us listen to something interesting. Let us listen to something interesting. I just don't know what. You see, this is why I don't make a lot of progress, because I just start looking on the internet and then I forget. Okay. I was gonna say let's watch this show, The Financial Audit, but I'm kind of tired of it, to be very honest. What is this? Bridgerton Ball.
That's it. That's my intro.
In Detroit.
Hey Amanda, you're watching Soul Entertainment, and I'm still getting used to having a mic in my face. I don't like this. I like having something on my desk that I can put out of frame, but those mics decided to stop working with my setup, so now we have this.
So I listen sometime to Swell Entertainment, and she is talking about Bridgerton Ball in Detroit. I don't know what Bridgerton is. I saw there is like some trailer for a movie. I don't care actually. Let's find another topic. This has been happening for 10 years. Nutter butter. Crumbly. So basically she analyzes different social topics or problems or issues. And what is this demure thing?
Do you see how I sit down to film a YouTube video so that you understand why everyone is saying demure when we were supposed to be having a brat
Thank
summer?
God. Yes,
Very
explain to
mindful of
me.
me. Very cutesy.
Okay, explain to me because I don't
That's my
understand.
Hey, I'm Amanda, you're watching Soul Entertainment, and today we are talking about demure, mindful,
What
cutesy,
is that?
Jules, and Selena, and a couple of other things. We're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about demure as a trend, as a term, being demure, because this is a trend currently. It is a state of being. It's still a brat summer, but I am not opposed to a demure summer at the same time, just because, well, demure autumn is where people were kind of moving in, but it's 102 out here. So, like, which still summer. Word demure, the trend on TikTok, how quickly it's spread, the virality of, doing well on TikTok. Who owns words? We're going to talk about that, trendification of just words and things like
The
that.
what?
And then, the nature of TikTok.
The
and things like that as well.
what?
We're going to talk about, being mindful. and cutesy. I
Frenchification?
personally, as someone who is
Again with the commercials. Oh my God.
constantly floored by the things that people post online with their whole faces in it. I love the being demure, being mindful trend, okay? Because I could argue I'm barely demure. Okay, I'm a chaotic goblin lady. I can play demure on TV, but I wouldn't say that in my existence I am demure. But being mindful, I'm all about that, okay? Have some perspective, some self-preservation, if you will. I'm not even really aware of Mercury retrograde, but I've been told that it's happening right now, and that everyone, probably when this comes out, who knows when it'll be, if it'll be done or not. I think it's 3 weeks long, I'm not certain. But apparently everyone's just saying things because Mercury retrograde is like making them say things, and then that's why everyone's out of pocket right now. So a trend that makes you think before you post, I love it. What does demure mean? Because
I have no idea.
Don't know, apparently, which is very funny to me. Demure, reserved, modest, and shy, typically used of a woman. Now, anyone can be demure, all right? You can be demure, I can be demure.
Wait, what did she say? She said that demure means shy, modest, and what? Hold on. I gotta check this because I don't know what demure means. I am not from America. I'm not an English
Have
speaker.
some perspective, some self-preservation, if you will. I'm not even really aware of Mercury retrograde, but I've been told that it's happening right now, and that everyone, probably when this comes out, who knows when it'll be, if it'll be done or not. I think it's 3 weeks long, I'm not certain. But apparently everyone's just saying things because Mercury retrograde is like making them say things, and then that's
No,
why
that's
out
just
of
an
pocket right now.
excuse.
So a trend that makes you think before you post, I love it. What does demure mean? Because
Yes.
so many people
Tell me.
don't know, apparently, which is very funny to me. Demure, reserved, modest, and shy, typically used of a woman. Now,
Reserved, modest, and shy. So everything that I've seen online with the sound bite, I'm very demure, did not have any of these. I heard that this phrase, very demure, very respectful, very mindful, of like piles of makeup. That's not very respectful, modest. I don't know. I think the person that used this word didn't know exactly what it meant, much like me, and they just used it because it sounds like Demi Moore. Maybe, that's my opinion. Hello, Jaide. Hi. Hello. Are you being demure today? I'm finding out what demure means. Apparently, it means respectful, modest, and I already forgot the third word. Respectful, modest, and
of Mercury retrograde, but I've been told that it's happening right now, and that everyone, probably when this comes out, who knows when it'll be, if it'll be done or not. I think it's 3 weeks long. I'm not certain, but apparently everyone's just saying things because Mercury retrograde is like making them say things, and then that's why everyone's out of pocket right now. So a trend that makes you think before you post, I love it. What does demure mean? Because so many people don't know, apparently, which is very funny to me. Demure, reserved, modest, and shy.
okay. So for everyone who has a short-term memory, remember, demure means modest, respectful, and shy. Okay. Good. Shy, respectful, modest. Okay.
Typically used of a woman. Now, anyone can be demure, all right? You can be demure. I can be demure. Hermes, my producer, can be demure. All right. He's not. He is a psychopath wanted in several jurisdictions, but he can play demure from time to time for the sake of this video. I think the timing of this also kind of helped with this popping off as well. Brat Summer currently, Charlie XCX's brat, very wild child, club rat, fun, love it, okay? The essence of Brat Summer, if you will. So then to halt it with demure and mindful summer / autumn, hard stop. I love when TikTok makes it to mainstream. I'm sorry, it's so stupid. NBC News. Why is everyone on TikTok suddenly obsessed with demure? A very mindful explainer of the trend. This is from Callan Rosenblatt. On TikTok, many people are being very mindful of their actions. They're acting very cutesy. In fact, you could say they're very demure. Those 3 phrases, but demure specifically, have consumed the platform in recent weeks after a creator who goes by Jules LeBron began using them this month to explain to the viewers how she handles a wide variety of daily situations, from being very mindful when she's on vacation to being very demure while waiting to board a plane. It's unclear how many followers Jules LeBron, who also goes by Julie Annie, gained since the trend went viral. She has 1.3 million followers on TikTok, but 50,000 posts on the platform have used the term demure. I said to Anarchy and Chris, who are barely on TikTok ever, I'm like, oh, it's giving very demure, very mindful. And they were like, are you having a stroke? What do you mean? And then someone commented it on one of Chris's posts, and they were like, oh my God, it's not just you. Like, this is an actual trend of people saying demure and mindful. I was like, yeah, they give me a hard time about never logging off, which fair, but it is my job. This video from Jules is the first one I saw, and I was immediately captivated by the way that she just speaks. Sometimes like a word is just a word, but like the cadence, like, oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale, I butchered that.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, we now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale.
The way people were saying it, or like dancing to it, or the way it's pronounced in the game or whatever, don't ask me questions. I have no idea what any of those words mean together in the context of the game or whatever the heck it is. Okay, but I am obsessed with the way that it's said. There was another one, God, I think there's a SpongeBob clip where the way that SpongeBob says balsamic.
Onions, garlic, celery, balsamic vinegar. That's a big word for Elmo.
There's like just the ways that certain things get said that becomes trends just by the way that they are said. And Jules says it in a way that, like, just the delivery from Jules is just phenomenal. Okay, I'm just gonna play the video.
See how I come to work? Very demure. I don't wear too much makeup. I don't come showing up with wing liner and lashes.
Okay.
I do a little hair oil on the wig. I do a little tinted moisturizer. I do a little brow gel. Very considerate, very approachable, very demure.
That was the first one I saw.
Okay,
And I
that
don't know if
makes
this
sense.
was the first time that Jules had said the word demure, but this is probably the biggest video that I would say that people saw from Jules. And then just kind of kept it going where she would explain, very demure, very mindful, like, see how I eat my salad? Very demure. See how I do this? Very mindful, very demure. Do you see how I get ready for work? I'm very demure. See, I'm very cutesy. Okay, like combining. But I'm very demure. I'm very cutesy. I combine and I'm very demurtsy. Yes, poking fun at it, but also still keeping the tone of demure and mindful. I filmed my own demure and mindful video when I was in Vegas. Do you see how to go and get breakfast from the hotel? I put a sweater over my sleeve t-shirt, so you can't tell I'm not wearing a bra. Very demure, very mindful. Very cutesy with it. I'm gonna go find some avocado toast because I'm very demure. And there's been a lot of videos like that where people are like, do you see how I have my boyfriend roll my joints because I'm very demure? Like, it's things like that. And then people were like, wait, I thought we were having a Brad summer. What do you mean? Everything? Why is everyone saying demure? I thought we were having a Brad summer. Once the trend itself kind of starts bleeding into another trend, i.e. Brad summer, okay, yes, it's because this is like a hard stop compared to a Brad summer. If you want an understanding of Brad, Nicole did a great video. Did Nicole not do Brad summer? No, she did. She did. She had to have. She did. Okay, Chronically Online Girl explains Charlie XCX Brat lore. Okay, good. Nicole did a Brat video. I was like, wait a minute. Did I have a dream? Did I dream this up? William, keep this in so they know I just spiraled for a second. Sorry, Nicole. I was making up a video for you for a second, and then you did make one. Okay, good. Sorry, that was not very demure of me. Selena has deleted her account at this point. I think because of the backlash. I don't know the full extent, so I can't get all of the videos. Some of the videos have been re-uploaded. But I remember seeing the first one, and I honestly scrolled past it because I was like, okay, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. Because I wasn't gonna make a video on the demure trend until obviously all this was coming out, and everyone was like, I had my dad text me, why are people saying things are demure on TikTok? What is going on? Usually once it bleeds into my father, I have no choice but to talk about a trend. I want to mention Devin because how baddie Devin Hubal has also made a reference to like being demure, being cutesy, being a doll, etc.
I'm demure. You're undemure.
It's interesting
Undemure.
because some people like. I don't even think Devin has made any comments. Or
What?
to, like,
What's up,
being
my
the first
boy?
To say demure or anything.
What?
And
What
again,
happened?
The first to say demure is an insane flippin' sentence because it's a
What happened,
goddamn
my
word,
boy?
but it's like making it a part of your brand, making it a reference to your brand. Again, we're gonna talk
My
about
dog
different
just
things here.
jumped.
Devin, I don't think she's just kind of like once again re-brought it up.
He got
to
scared of
us
something,
again,
I
and
think.
not been like, oh, I was the first demure, and then people in Devin's comments are like, the original demure doll. Everyone, this is where demure come from. The word demure that has that quality. The OG demure queen. But I don't think she herself has been saying anything about the first, the way that I believe Selena has. Amara commented on Jules' post, I learned demure from Devin Habal, baddie, I have no idea who Selena is, and Jules replied, Devin reaching out and giving me nothing but love was mindful. But I wanted to bring up Devin because I didn't want to erase her from this conversation because Devin is just kind of like traveling the world and being like, I'm very demure, and then like having whole like fan meetups in other countries while all this is going on TikTok, and I just find that a little funny, and so I wanted to bring it up.
I could have hit this person up directly, but at the same time, this person is benefiting from it, and it's not necessarily that I would want this person to take the video down. Like, that's not even, like, where I'm going with this. The whole demure trend is literally something that I made back in 2021. I'm somebody who reads a lot, so the word demure pops up in a lot of my literature, and there was this whole thing about just, like, there was this funny trend about, like, at the time, about being super petite. I was like, oh my god, that's so demure. So there was one particular video that went really super viral. This is back when I had my old account. I had 2.1 million followers, so a lot of my videos and audios would go viral regularly. One of the first demure videos is about me ordering a salad with a Diet Coke, and how demure and petite and tiny I am that the wind would blow me away because I ordered a salad and a Diet Coke. It would have been nice even if it was just one video where somebody would be like, hey, like, you know, Selena did this trend back in the day, like, you know, I appreciate and love, and just show me some love, because I show everybody that I have in my following thing love. And
all of Selena's like main profiles have been deleted from TikTok, including the video, so it's a lot of references. But basically, Selena posted a video where she said, I would have liked some credit because I am the first one that said demure on here back in 2020, 2021, and then posted a video where it was an older video where it's like, see how I'm so demure and petite, I only eat Greek salads, and basically making demure as in.
So Mahtab says, do you have Telegram? Of course I have.
Also being small, basically. Again, it's a word that existed. It doesn't, I used it first. Like, it's kind of like, let me put it this way. All of my reviews, like my actual product reviews and event reviews and such, fall under my playlist because it's a type of content that I make called my I Tried It So You Don't Have To series. Now imagine if I started saying that I was the only one that could do I Tried It So You Don't Have To. In fact, I remember in 2019, 2018, when I first started making videos a little more consistently, but before my channel took off, my friend messaged me and she was like, oh my God, Gabby Hanna stole your video concept. She said, like, I tried eating keto for 7 days or something, so you don't have to, like, this is back forever ago. And I was like, and like, what do you mean? People did it before me, they're gonna do it after me. Like, that's crazy. It's just the style of content that I do.
Please type the ID for me. My Telegram. Why? Do you have a question about knitting? You can just ask in the comments and I will reply to you right now. Otherwise, I'm not interested to talk to strangers on Telegram. This is just a channel for crochet and for knitting. So if you have a question, write it in the comment and I will reply right now so that everybody can learn about what is on your mind about knitting.
I don't even really call it that anymore, like in the video, because it's just lengthy. And again, same thing with demure. Like, I'm sure I've said the word demure at some point online in the internet. If I got up here and was like, actually, I am the first person to say demure online, that would be, you guys would be like, oh, she's lost the plot. She's going crazy, not very mindful, not very cutesy. I get it, being it, if you say something and someone does it better, then yes, that is insulting, that hurts. Insulting's not the word, sorry. That is, I guess, hurtful. There's things where it's like you encourage your friend to like something like, hey, I'm sure a bunch of people are feeling this, where you've been encouraging your friends to look at Chappell Roan, okay, or listen to her music for a few years now, and then suddenly after Coachella, they're like, oh my God, have you heard Chappell Roan? Like, it's like, yeah. So have you, because I told you about her. I paid you Pink Pony Club. Like it's the same concept, essentially, where it's like, yes, I would like credit for going first, but also finding music, existing as a person, being a fan of something, saying a word, it is just kind of a state of being and not really something that you can kind of like, you can't trademark saying something first necessarily.
And this is what we call foreshadowing.
Especially a word that already existed, you know, that has been used on the internet. There's definitely people on TikTok that have said the word demure. I know there's a lot of these women on TikTok that, speak about hypergamy or like dating and things like that. I am 100% certain that at least a handful of them have referenced being demure on dates or demure on social media so that you can get a high value man or something. I am certain of that. So again, it's a word. I'm trying to be demure. I'm trying to be mindful, but like it's so ridiculous. And someone in the comments.
Wait, did she just say that people talk about being demure during dates? What does that mean? It is mentioned in the dating content. Probably being modest and shy, right? Окей, Владимир, здравствуйте, моя дорогая. What? What is happening, Vladimir? Hello. We are listening to the explanation of the phenomenon called demure. You know, demure as it is used, because I had no idea what demure means. I don't speak English that well to understand every single word. And also, it looks like demure was mostly used in terminology in dating content. So people that were going on dates, they were talking about the fact that they were being demure during their dates. What do we think, Vladimir? Are we being demure or not? What do we think, Vladimir? Are we demure?
Section said, never heard of it before, Jules, so it ain't about who did it first, it's about who did the best. The energy is so different between demure petite and demure mindful, I don't know. Which I do agree, because it's like demure and mindful, like be aware of how you present yourself. Demure and petite, be aware of how you are basically in existence. Someone in the comment section said, she did for me like Selena was the one who I learned the word from, but it didn't stick at all, and that was years ago. You try and make fetch happen, but it's not going to happen. So you give up using fetch, and then someone finds your videos and they're like, wait, I kind of like that. Fetch. And they don't tag you, because why would they think that you came up with the word? You know, they just heard you saying it one time or something, you know? And again, you didn't come up with demure, which I think is why Selena ended up deleting her page. On one of Jules's videos, someone commented, oh, Selena went live, and people were just, replying with tomatoes in the comment sections and things like that, trying to explain it. Some people were probably saying demure in reference to Selena before this, but again, it's like, there's a trend cycle as well. And it's like, if you were not at the top of the trend cycle when it's coming back around, then you're gonna be moved out, you know, and type of things. And when it comes to something like a dance credit, like I fully believe, like if you're gonna do like a dance, like yes, credit the person who created the dance fully, okay? But this is Selena in the video herself even says like, I could have messaged this person directly, but they're benefiting from it, so I'm posting it publicly. That's a choice. When it comes to like someone hurting you, your side of a story, I don't think people are owed privacy in that regards. Like, oh, you should have come to me privately. I think no, I take that back, because I do think there are instances where you should reach out to them privately. However, this is not serious. This is not life or death. In my opinion, the way you explain this, Selena, based on this video, I feel like you were just trying to hurt Jules's pocket. That is how I interpreted that. Selena's old account had gotten deleted, okay? And so for whatever reason, I don't know why, not the current one where she posted these videos, but her original account where the original Demure video apparently was. And it's one of those things where it's like, yes, forever go, your audio doing well, things like that. Audios come and go. If someone uses your audio now and then it becomes a trend and it's like, it kind of gets watered down, or like, oh, they reused your sound, things like that. It's kind of a gray area, but again, it's you didn't make up the word demure, because I read a lot. I'm sorry, it's crazy. That's such a lot. And you said so yourself in this video, like, oh, I'm an influencer, I'm gonna influence people. I've talked about this previously where it's like influencers are mad that they've influenced people, and they especially get mad when they've influenced other influencers, whether credited or not, or it's like been inspired by them or things like that. Or there's just, you know, where, you know, people have common life experiences and they have common things, like Dolls saying Demure is not new. It's something that always floors me, because it's like, if you are an original, again, if you're comfortable in yourself, things like this bother you a lot less. Yes, it sucks when something that you believe that you came up with, someone else did, however, okay, and it performs better. Sure, that sucks, but the answer is to then do something else. Keep it pushing. Do something more demure and mindful. The answer is not to go and do a woe is me calling out this person for not crediting me for saying a word. Forget being demure and mindful. I don't think that's a good business move as an influencer or content creator. Like, for example, there is a creator that I'm not going to bring up who this person is. They have an editing style that is very cool, okay, and for short form. And they post very infrequently though. So like their videos do very well, but they're not constantly in people's awareness. So like the editing style is more recognizable than they are as a person, okay? And so they got onto this conversation with a couple people I know, and they were like, oh my God, so-and-so stole my idea, they copied me, I need to call them out. And they were like, you haven't posted in 3 months. No one even knows that was your style. They're not copying you. They just edited the video in the similar way. It's like, why would anyone think that they were copying you? Because there's nothing to copy currently. Like, it's like, oh yeah, maybe they saw it and they were inspired by it. But
Okay,
also,
let's take a break from this lady to check in with the results of the elections. As I told you, today we have repeated elections, or round 2 for the presidential election, so in Moldova. So we have 1.2 million people who voted already, and this is 43%. This is the map of my country. We call it the shape of a grape, yeah? And we can see that some regions have more voters, which is with a darker color, and lighter colors are less voters. And we see here my municipality, which is the capital city, Chisinau. We can see again more districts, and the darker colored districts have more voters, and this is the center. I live in this Botanica district, and Botanica voted 43.06%. What are my neighbors doing? Here we can see the age groups. Let's see, 58% of the voters are women and 42% are men. And let's look at voting abroad, because we have voting by correspondence and we have live voting in polling stations in the embassies or in the consulates. So we have it some portions of the world where Moldovan people live. And 208,000 people voted. Once again, more women than men, and we can see the age disaggregation. Let's go again. Total. So 43%, 1.2 million, and it's now 4 o'clock. Let's see, 5 more hours to go. 5 more hours. 5 more hours. So from time to time, I'm going to check in with the results just to see what is up. And you can see that it's a live counting of the voter turnout. So hold on, just give it a second. You will see this. You see this number updating all the time. Okay, now I'm happy. I'm happy. Let's continue listening to the
Like,
Mior.
oh yeah, maybe they saw it and they were inspired by it, but also you don't own an editing style at the same time. You know, it's things like that. Again, you can't be mad that you influence someone and then they do it. You know, it's like being creative, being an artist, being an influencer, being a content creator, whatever. You're going to influence people.
Oh,
You can.
hi. I didn't even notice there are some comments. Wait, what? Vladimir, I don't understand Russian. And I remember telling this in the previous videos that I don't understand Russian. So let me read with the translator, right? Let's see. What does Vladimir says? Пришла повеста на войну в Украине. Не думал, что придется побывать на родине в роль душешуба. What? Через неделю мне надо уже быть на сборах под Петербургом. I don't understand, Vladimir. Let's use Google Translate on this. Oh, but I can't. So you were drafted in the military to fight against Ukraine? Вы будете воевать против Украины на сборах под Петербургом? Владимир, я вас точно понимала? Вы будете на войну в Украину. А вы что, вы из Украины? Я думала, что вы из России. Если вы из России, вы будете воевать против Украины. В роль душешуба. I don't understand that. Через неделю мне надо быть на сборах под Петербургом. Это в России, Петербург. Что есть война в Петербург? I don't understand. Ой, fortunately, I don't understand. Sorry, я не все понимаю. Да, меня принуждают воевать, я из России. Вы будете воевать против Украины? Боже мой. Ну как так можно? Как? Страшно. Страшно. I cannot even go back to being the happy old me. So one of the commentators, Vladimir, writes that he is in Russia and he will be drafted to join the armed forces to fight against Ukraine, which bothers me really much. Okay, let's not get angry. Let's not get angry. I cannot control what people from Russia are doing or their leaders, but it bothers me very much. Oh my god, these commercials once again. Stop.
Being an influencer, being a content creator, whatever. You're going to influence people. You can get mad at people feeding it into AI. I'm all for that. If someone comes up to me with an AI bot saying the words demure and mindful, I'm punching it in the face or in the screen, whatever the fuck. Same thing. Jules got invited to a Patrick Ta launch to do something with Chris Appleton, which is the Kardashians' hair stylist, I believe. Off the top of my head, I'm blinking.
You see how I meet Chris Appleton? I'm not like you other girls. I bring the product that I stole from the store.
Jules posted a video that said, "Make the videos, TikTok has changed my life." And I always talk about this because I have a lot of people, it's like, oh, I don't know where to start with content creation. I don't know what to do. I have all these AI and YouTube automation people in my emails. Which one should I reply to? None of them. Also, leave me alone. The AI cannot go to an event for me. Leave me alone, okay? But I always recommend posting. Like, just start posting content. You can follow all of the structures and rules and YouTube gurus, which is basically an MLM now, all you want, but just posting, whatever is gonna be your best bet. And Jules posted this video, which I thought was nice.
Pendeja, maybe you should make the videos. Maybe you should make the videos, because one day I was playing cashier and making videos on my break, and now I'm flying across country to host events, and I'm going to be able to finance the rest of my transition. I finally said it without crying.
And I love that. I love that Jules, just from posting TikToks for fun, is now able to finance the rest of her transition. I really think that that's great. And I wanted to end on a nice note because I think that that's nice.
And of course, a random man had to come and ruin everything. So a man named Jefferson Bates in Washington filed a very demure, very mindful trademark, and Jules made a video saying that she was devastated that she didn't trademark fast enough. The video has since been deleted. Trademarks take a long time to go through. It's not something that you file and then you can just automatically start being protected by, essentially. This is also why I waited to put this video out a little longer, because I wanted to see how this would play out a little bit. Trademark lawyers, it seems, have spoken with Jules and are like, oh, because there is a very clear first use case here, Jules should be able to get her own rights for very demure, very mindful, specifically. Unfortunately, this is something that happens quite a bit on TikTok. This is an ongoing issue where people are actually just randomly trademarking people's trending audios and things like that on TikTok. I don't know if this is still an issue, but it was about a year or so ago where a lot of people realized that a lot of their audios have been trademarked by a handful of people. Now, obviously, because we've talked about, first use and things like that here, again, the issue with Selena was that the word demure is what was being discussed. This is the phrase very demure, very mindful in its entirety, all right? So it's the phrase versus the word. Jules did make a follow-up video saying that everything is being handled, so I'm hoping that she is in contact with a good lawyer. Continue to get her bag.
Be demure and mindful. I hope this trend persists through the rest of the year, frankly, because some people are not thinking before they post, and you're gonna end up on a watch list, some people. Gosh, anyways, just be demure, be very mindful, be very cutesy with it. And this can be, I am a chaotic goblin lady, but I can play demure and mindful on TV, and that's going to be it. Have you seen Jules's videos? Have you seen Hell Baddie's videos? Did you see Selena's videos? Have you heard just random people in your life being like, I'm very demure, very mindful? They're being very demure. Let me know. Comment down below. Reminder, I stream on TikTok. Reminder that Small Entertainment is now available on Spotify. Reminder to use code SWELL for 10% off on Gamer Subs. Shout out to my patrons. We are closing down the Patreon. I officially have YouTube membership set up. We have things down below. There's already B-roll over there. You guys should go check that out. And if you'd like to follow me on my other social media, be all up here. And that's going to be it. Have a lovely day. Goodbye. Do you see how I sit down to film my YouTube videos on my scheduled filming days? Very demure, very mindful, very cutesy, very demurtsy. Thank you, Adira, Amy, Andrew, Ayana, Cameron, Donnie, Elliot, Freya, Jeffrey, Jenny, Literal, May West, Michael, Nathan, Oz, Palace, QWERTY, Robert, Tasha, Tenzin, Thomas, Timothy, Winters, Wink.
Okay. Okay, let's continue watching something interesting. Interesting. So Vladimir says, буду, иначе меня посадят в тюрьму. Окей, тогда в тюрьму. Вы думаете, что на войну больше шансов? Я не могу говорить, я никогда не жила в Россию, но даже когда есть выборы, люди не выбирают другой председатель, да, другой лидер. Потому что не знаю почему, но ваш лидер делает то, что делает. Я люблю ваши пальчики. Ой, спасибо. До свидания, Кристина. Ой, удачи вам, я даже не знаю, что сказать. Удачи, здоровья и удачи, наверное, потому что всегда такая реальность, что, не знаю, только удачные люди живут хорошо. Остальные борются, как мы. Ну, удачи и здоровья вам, конечно. Это же очень, gosh, how do you say, очень трудно, да, трудно. Difficult. Очень-очень трудно. Wait, there was another word. Я вас... Oh, I forgot. Соболезн... I don't remember. You understand, Vladimir. I feel for you. Ooh, gift knits.
And I'm so happy to sit down and hang out with you today to talk about gift knits. My family and I celebrate Christmas. Christmas morning is the most important morning out of the year for me because I just take Christmas as an excuse to sit my family down and force them to open all the gifts that I've collected for them throughout the previous 5 months. Any occasion is a good excuse to knit them something. For me, there's also nothing like the feeling of being in a room, the 4 of us, and us all wearing a sweater that I knitted. I'm the youngest sibling, so I've always been nurtured as such, so it's really nice that I...
Oh my god, I do the same. I knit random things for my family members, including this sweater, which I'm knitting for my brother. And whenever we get together, I'm the youngest, and whenever we get together, when I see them wearing my stuff, I can cry. I don't know why. And the fact that this lady says that she has the same feeling and the same experience.
Give back the love and take care of my family in that way by knitting them stuff.
Yes.
I'd sit down and share my
Yes.
gift knit ideas that you can use literally for any occasion, birthdays, Christmas, whatever you
Okay,
celebrate.
show me,
It would also
please.
be so amazing if you could share your gift knitting ideas in the comments, just so we can get more inspiration. I just want to know what all of you are making for your loved ones. That being said, I'm going to briefly touch upon what I'm wearing. So this is the Cumulus Blast by Petite Knit. It's knit in 2 strands of the Sandnes Garn Tin Silk Mohair, which is a very itchy yarn. It's got some content of wool in there, so it's not very silky. It's quite coarse, but that means that it's worn so incredibly well. I've had this for 2 or 3 years, but is it worth the itch? Maybe not, because at the end of the day, most mohair wears well, especially if it's held double. Also, I have bionic skin. I don't know what's in my skin composition, but I could wear thorns and it wouldn't itch. So I feel like most people would find this really itchy, but I love it. This green is the best shade in the world. I think it fits everyone and just brightens up the complexion and just makes you look so alive. It's so, so pretty. My mom actually gifted me this yarn for Christmas one year. It was so, so special. Such a good piece in my wardrobe, and yeah, love my Cumulus Bluffs. Let's move on to the gift list. So I'll start by sharing things that I've made in the past. So I made a couple of sweaters actually. For my mom, I made the Clotilde sweater by Knitting for Olive. I used 2 strands of heavy merino.
Hello, Peter.
Add 1 strand of mohair.
Oh my god, imagine knitting this as a
Lost
gift.
in the 2 strands of heavy merino, because then it's just so chunky. This one's a beautiful all over lace chunky knit. It's
Yeah,
made
but
on
it takes me like 2
needles,
years to
and
make one.
I was in a time crunch. And
Peter, you missed the beginning of this video when this lady said that she is the youngest of the family and it's her pleasure to knit random things throughout the year and then wrap it up and give it to their family members at Christmas Day, and just like having them wear her stuff. And I can completely relate. I knitted everyone in my family socks for the entire year and I gifted them and I felt so special. But come on, knitting a sweater takes ages. For example, I'm knitting on this sweater for my brother. Last night I made the collar, but before that, I mean, it takes ages. Look how big it is. It's been months and I only started the sleeve. Like, you can't knit. I don't know how talented you must be to be knitting like sweaters. And she shows like, oh, she's gonna knit this one.
Gone at more of a normal pace, I would have
Look.
gotten it done maybe in 10. It's
10 days.
There is a lot of lace
No.
work, so you have to concentrate. But if you've got down a good chart reading method, I think you're gonna be okay.
10 days.
I had the
Oof.
best time in those 5 days. It's just a good design that both offers speed because it's chunky, but nice intricate lace work, so it makes it even more special. I also made it because my mom is called Clotilde, so I thought it was only fitting to make her the Clotilde sweater. The second sweater I made for my mom is the Cumulus blouse, like the one that I'm wearing.
Stop.
Also in green.
2 sweaters for her mom?
I used 2 strands of drops jib silk. I think it's a nice simple design that actually appeals to a lot of different people with different styles. And it's so simple where you can make very easy modifications that don't take a lot of brain power to tweak the design and adapt it to different styles. It can be dressed up or dressed down, so it's a very versatile desigin. It's a good
2
time
sweaters?
to share a really good mohair alternative that I found. So it's the Holstgarn Lucia yarn. This is 42% baby alpaca, 35 mulberry silk, 13 merino wool, and 10% yak. So it's a really, really nice lace weight fluffy yarn that looks like mohair, but it's not itchy. So if you want to play it safe for your gift knits, this is the one to go for. Really check these out. I made my brother Petite Knits Northland sweater, and I loved it so much that I made it for Mr. Woozy as well.
Oh,
And
stop it.
So good on both of them. I would honestly make the sweater a third
Stop
time. Even
it.
for myself, I loved the look of it on, especially super oversized.
These look so complicated and
My
big.
brother's
How?
I made with drops Nepal, I believe, and then Mr. Woozy's, I was about to say his name, Mr. Woozy's, it's a secret. I used Knitting for Olive's Heavy Merino, which is my favorite out of the two because it's just really nice and plump.
I can't believe that she manages to knit one to every
The other one I
person.
made for my brother is the Hanstom sweater, which, by the way, this first batch of gifts come from my Petite Knit obsession era. I think Petite Knit is a really safe designer to go for when you're gift giving, especially if you've not consulted with your gift receiver on what they would like, because she has a lot of nice simple staple basics that kind of everyone needs in their wardrobe. Her patterns have been highly tried and tested, so I always feel safe going into it knowing that I can't really try the garment as I go. I can just rely on the measurements and the sizes and the stitch counts that she provides. But the Hanstom sweater is a very simple raglan sweater in a DK weight. So for my brother, I used the Knitting for Olive Merino held with the mohair. My brother actually likes the fluff of the mohair. Some people may not, so make sure you at least know if they would enjoy the look of the fluff and also if their skin isn't too sensitive for it.
It would take me years.
What I've ever made, I think, is this reel that I posted on Instagram of me making a zipper sweater for my dad and him reacting to it last Christmas. This sweater is so perfect for dads. It should have been called a dad sweater. There are 2 versions of the zipper sweater for men. Petite Knit has the light version and the normal version, which I made my dad the latter, and that one has 15 stitch gauge. I kind of regret the fiber that I used. I used Drops Andes, which is actually bulkier. So I really had to knit a dense fabric, but my dad loves it. I love the zipper detail on it. I think it really makes the sweater special. because it makes it versatile and gives you different looks. If you pull it all the way down, it creates this nice little decorative neck moment, but then you can also pull it all the way up. The neck is so plump because it's double folded. I actually didn't install the zipper myself. I just wanted to get it as perfect as it could be, so I brought it to a tailor's and she installed it for me. I bought the zipper from the Petite Knit website, and I must say it's a really good zipper. It's nice and sturdy. The metal is nice and heavy. It looks good quality. So I really recommend you go for that zipper if you're wondering which one to buy. If you're into sock knitting, that's an obvious one to go for. I think it's just such a cute gift to receive handmade socks. I would love some handmade socks as a gift just because I'm not a big sock knitter. In fact, I actually wanted to ask you, I assume that all of you knit, that's why you're probably watching this video. But as a knitter, would you enjoy a handmade gift by someone, or would you rather them just gift you the yarn so that then you could knit it for yourself? I'm really, really curious
Both.
to see where you guys stand.
I want both.
Another gift I've made is a baby knit. So this is the festival dress.
I can't believe how many gifts she has knitted.
So beautiful. She's going to look so cute. I'm heading to Milan this weekend, and I'm going to see her, and I'm finally going to see her wear this. I hope she's not grown too big for this because it's actually been ready for a couple months, but I've not managed to.
It's incredible how much she made.
Hope it still fits. I love baby knits. They're so fun, especially if it's little accessories for them. Those are really fast. I've made 2 baby bear bonnets by Knitting for Olive, both of them in a day. So if you're trying to find something super quick, super cute and special, that's probably the most special gift you'll ever give a baby. It's the baby bear bonnet. Some really good gift knits are chunky beanies like this one. This is the Orbit had by Rose Knitwear. I made it in a day with some scrap yarn that I had in stash, so that's really good on the budget as well, but it's so cool. Another item that I think a lot of people would appreciate because it's quite peculiar and not a lot of people have it is a hood. This is one you should consider. It's the Simple Knit Hood by Leah Leakey. It's very fast. I think I made it in 2 or 3 days. I held camel's yarn, merino detail
2 or 3 days.
Surrey silk alpaca lace. Gauge is 16 stitches. It's very quick. It's a 1 skein project. You can also probably find something in your stash. It's very versatile. You pop your head through it and you can wear it obviously as a hood, or you can pop it down so it kind of transforms whatever you're wearing into a hoodie. It's very cute on because there's a really nice transition from indoors outdoors without having to take it off when you're going indoors. I love it. It's so good. I will leave a tutorial for the cast on for this pattern specifically because I know a lot of people have trouble. I had trouble understanding it from the pattern. So in case you're gonna go over this, make sure you also look at the tutorial for the cast on. Obviously the world's favorite gift knit are Sophie scarves. I would be so interested to know, first of all, how many of you watching are going to make Sophie scarves?
I've never made a Sophie scarf.
But also, how many Sophie scarves people are going to knit for Christmas? Like, in the whole world, how many people do you reckon are making Sophie scarves?
I have no idea. I've never made one.
I would have to make something new, a new type of mini scarf, and I found the perfect one.
Show us.
So cute by Sari Nordland. It's the Kutar shawl. I hope that's how you pronounce
Ooh,
it.
that's complicated. I cannot do lace.
It's bigger. It's not as small as a Sophie scarf, but then you wrap it around your neck the same way you would a Sophie
I'm
scarf.
sorry.
And
I'm not
honestly,
doing
it looks
that.
like it gives you more coverage. Sometimes, especially in the cold UK winters, I wish my Sophie scarves had a bit more coverage. It's like some parts of my neck still pop through. And this would be absolutely perfect because there is more fabric. There's a nice lacy design that's so cute. And sometimes with the Sophie scarf, it's not that effortless to make it look cute. Like, I need to adjust it quite a lot. Whereas with this one, there's more fabric to work with. So I assume it's probably going to be more effortless.
Guys, do you hear my neighbors? They are assembling furniture or just like beating up their walls or installing something. Okay.
Is to just throw it on and make it look cute. So I would definitely go for this if I were to knit my next mini scarf. If you're a regular viewer of my channel, you may have learned that I just discovered mittens. And my favorite thing that I've ever made since I was born are my songbird mittens. I think I would
Oh
pass
my
out
God,
if someone
so
gifted me these. I
beautiful.
would literally like feel unwell. I think I made them in a week. They were my first colorwork project.
I'm sorry, they look
way
so
more complicated
complicated.
than they actually are, so fear not. These would be honestly the ultimate gift. It's so special, and I don't even have to explain why. In terms of yarn, I used for the pink Cardiff Cashmere Classic, and the white is Onion Nettle Sock yarn. Both were in my stash. Both I didn't need more than one skein each. If this feels a bit daunting, you could go for something a bit more classic. So I have just completed my Frost mittens. They are knitted on a thicker gauge, so it's just less knitting, faster to work up, but also the design is a bit more geometric, so it's a bit easier to keep track of where you are, and it's a bit easier to avoid mistakes, I guess. I've not made any mittens as a gift knit, but I think this is the first thing that I would consider with my gift knit planning, because they are just so special. They're very hard to find in shops. Something like this I've not seen in years. When you walk around, you don't really see anyone with something like this on. So these are
Oh no, I made a mistake.
I know we're
What?
talking about knitting, but I'm also a crocheter. I don't pick up my crochet hook half as much as I do my knitting needles, but I still thought this next thing is a really good gift knit. The winter that I learned how to crochet, I made like 15 of these beanies for my family members.
What?
This is
What
they
beanie?
look like. They're from a free pattern on YouTube, which I'll link down below.
Nice.
And they're so quick. I think I used to make them in 2 to 3 hours because the band is worked on 6 or 6.5 millimeter hook, and then the rest of the beanie on
Oh my
8.
god, my
All
leg
of this
fell
with
asleep. Oh
It's
gosh.
got this really pretty floral-like design. I'd actually made it for my brother in black. I have a black one myself. You can't really see the stitch. Yeah, it was my brother's favorite beanie, and he was just living his life, walking around town in London, and then someone drives by on a bike and snatches it off his head.
I cannot believe
Like, I'm
that.
not even joking. They
I don't
snatched
believe that.
the beanie off his head. So
Such crimes exist in London? Come on. People don't have beanies over there? They need to steal from people's heads? Maybe it was a classmate or a friend who did a practical joke.
I made him another one. I must remind you that knitting isn't just about making clothing and accessories like beanies and socks and scarves. It's also about embellishing the house and making accessories as homeware. So I wanted to show you this pattern that I've just casted on. It's not going to be a gift knit, but I think anyone would love this as a gift knit if it's their style.
Show us. What
This
is
is what it
that?
looks like. So this is going to be a pillowcase. It's the scrap pattern
What?
that is in the Rose Knitwear pattern book.
That
just
looks
came out this week. I just went into
insane.
my stash and I selected those odd skeins that had been opened and used a bit that I'm not really going to use in the future. I decided to go a bit crazy and just use all the colors that I could find. It's nice because you can obviously select the colors, so you can adapt them to the color scheme that your gift receiver prefers. So you could even make like a more neutral pillow, just selecting some neutral yarn scraps. But this is so fun, and it's just so satisfying that I can use up all these little scraps that are the hardest to get rid of because you've just got such a limited quantity of them that, like, what could you possibly use them for? If you can see,
Yes,
I'm using
show
some
us.
random yarn as the main yarn. So I cast it on with one color, I finished that skein, and now I'm holding these two random yarns, but it doesn't really matter because all the colorful strands cover the main
Looks
yarn, so who cares what's done? You
insane.
can really make the most
Let me
out
give
of
her a
this
like.
to clean up your stash. I'm having the time of my life making this. If someone comes up to me and saying, "Oh, Celine, you look so happy, you look like you're glowing," what I'll answer is, "Yeah, I'm working on my scrap yarn pillow, watching Gilmore Girls. Like, what a better way to pass my autumn, you know?" I have one work in progress that is a Christmas gift knit for my dad. This is the cardigan number 8 by My Favorite Things Knitwear.
Let's
This
see.
pattern is advertised as women's wear, but one day I was scrolling on my Instagram and I found this photo of this guy wearing cardigan number 8, and
Oh,
it
looks
looked
good.
so good.
Looks very
There was no
Western.
doubt in my heart, in my mind, in my spirit that I was gonna make this for my dad. I had been waiting to find the perfect pattern for my dad for quite a few months because I had been putting some thought into it, and when I saw this, it was just the universe aligned. Also, my dad must have a v-neck or like the zipper sweater where he can open it, because he has like a weird thing that he doesn't like fabric touching his neck or something. I don't even know. So this was perfect. 15 stitch gauge pattern, which meant that I could get through it quite quickly. I decided to block this mid knit because I was pondering whether or not I should unravel, because I'm holding 2 strands together, and before blocking it was so stiff. I really did not like the fit of it, and especially where I picked up the stitches at the arm, it was so bulky. There was like a horrible line. Verdict is, after blocking, it's really, really nice. And thank goodness, because this is amongst the most beautiful yarn I've ever used, and I really wanted it to work for this project. I got this yarn from Beautiful Knitters Yarn Shop. This brand is Hey Mama Wolf. I'm actually using 2 different yarns from them. So the thicker one is their Skadi, and this one is their Mokosh, which is slightly thinner. One time I brought my family to Beautiful Knitters and I had them scour through like the whole stock, asking them what colors they liked. And I think this was back in June or July, and I was like, just pick a color and eventually I'll make you something. So this is the yarn that my dad picked. So I really wanted to use this color for this cardigan, but obviously there was an incompatibility with the gauge of the pattern and this actual yarn. So I was like, let me hold them together. When I knitted this up, I just thought the fabric was too dense and too stiff.
It's such a light blue.
I was this close to unraveling. And then I took it to Beautiful Knitters and I asked Karen, the owner, what do you think I should do? Should I just unravel? And she said, block it and see how it goes. And
yes,
thank goodness,
block it.
I listened to her. I also listened to Margot, because Margot was like, no, you can't unravel it. It's so pretty. It's so that. So thank goodness, thanks to Margot and Karen, I've not unraveled it. It's actually showing.
It looks really good.
Drape. It's gorgeous. This yarn is incredible. It actually says on the label that this is the softest wool in Europe.
What?
Because the sheep that this comes from have a really lovely crimp in their fleece, which incorporates so much air. So it's basically like whipped yarn. It's so good. The experience of knitting this is unlike any other yarn that I've ever tried. I actually put this on after I blocked it, and it felt so good. And I'm so happy that it worked out for my dad's cardigan. I cannot wait to give it to him. I cannot wait to show you guys his reaction. I'll obviously make another reel this year, because I guess it's tradition now. I'm so excited. I can't. Very chuffed to have realized that the whole men and women versions of patterns are actually kind of irrelevant. You only have to kind of work out the sizing difference, but once you've got that down, you can just make anything for everyone.
Agreed.
It's so good. It just opens up the opportunities and the possibilities. So that's the first gift knit that I started for this Christmas. I have to be really careful with what I say because my mom watches my videos. Ciao, mama. So I will not disclose what I plan to make her, okay? Because even if I tell her to not watch this video, she is gonna watch this video. My mom is the one person on this planet that cares about my well-being the absolute most. And whenever I talk to her about gift knits, she's like, please, Celine, do not make me anything because I don't want your hands, your wrists, your eyes, your back, your neck to be in pain. I don't want you to go through all that effort for me. And I'm like, Mom, what are you talking about? So obviously we've got plans for the mom. I just can't share them with you, but I may have given you hints. Something important that I wanted to mention that I forgot to say. Last year for Christmas, I really wanted to gift my brother a sweater, but I didn't have time to make it. So what I did is I bought the yarn and I wrapped it in gift wrap and I put it under the tree, so when he opened it, there was the yarn. He's not a knitter, so obviously that meant that I bought him the yarn to make him a sweater and that I was gonna make a sweater. So you could do that. Just really make sure that you will be able to make it soon after, because I feel like it would be a bit sad if...
Imagine my brothers receiving yarn from me. I think they would laugh like crazy. Imagine, you see all of that yarn. Imagine I pack it up very nicely. I put a bow on top and I put like 4 or 5 boxes under the tree and have my brothers, my sister-in-law, my cousins open it up saying, this will be a gift that I will knit for you. Okay. Oh, Shitika Woods. That kit from making amigurumi is called a Wobbly kit. Look it up. It's everything you need for easy instruction. Excellent.
You know, they get the yarn as a statement that you're gonna make them something, and then it takes you like a year to make it. So yeah, that happened last Christmas, and then I made the sweater, and my brother had it by the end of January, so that was kind of the time frame. Another gift knit that I would like to make is a beanie for my brother using the 2 skeins of Ithier Aran Tweed in the shade Confetti. I went to the Oxford yarn shop, and when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so my brother. So I must use it to make him a beanie. I wanted to try to see if I can hit gauge for one of Petite Knit's hats, the brioche one. Otherwise, I'll just look for something else that might work for him. If I have time, I would love to make my brother another sweater. I'm thinking a drop shoulder construction because so far I've made him a saddle shoulder and a raglan, so a drop shoulder would be ideal just to give him a little bit, you know, of a variety.
It's incredible how many sweaters this girl made for her brother. It's incredible. I made one sweater for one brother and I'm making the second sweater for my second brother and I'm exhausted. I feel like it's so much pressure on me. And this girl makes
And that time that I brought
sweater
my
after
family's
sweater
beautiful
after
knitters,
sweater.
my brother actually picked a shade of the New Life wool by Jette Garn, which I actually have here 'cause I'm working on my
Pink?
cardigan using this. So this is what the skein looks like. This is not the color he picked.
Oh, okay.
He picked like a really deep purple that had some colorful tweed in
Okay.
there. Kind of subtle tweed, but I'll obviously keep you posted in my podcasts and vlogs to see what I end up going for, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that if I have the time. I really hope I will. Another gift knit that I would personally love to receive is a hot water bottle cover. I'm an avid hot water bottle user. I sometimes have 2 going at the same time. One for my tummy and one for my feet. Oh my gosh. My favorite thing in life is to get my hot water bottle ready. Hot water bottle around December, January time, like the peak of
What does
winter,
it mean,
the
hot
cold.
water
Get my
bottle?
hot water bottle ready, and then put it in my bed, get ready for bed, take a shower, brush my teeth, brush my hair, take my makeup off, and then go under the covers. That feeling is unlike, I can't think of an equivalent feeling. Hot water bottle cover, I think, is such an iconic gift. Specifically in cream.
Oh,
yarn.
this
It's
kind of
so
thing.
adorable
Oh.
for a color work.
I have
It's
something
not
like this,
very
but I've
obvious
never
item
knitted
to make. I
nothing
love
to
this sorts of
cover
things.
it.
They're just not obvious and you can't really buy at the store, you know. I think they're so special. I was browsing at Beautiful Knitters and I found this yarn that is so good. Could not leave without it, you know, like I couldn't. This is her. She looks so pretty.
It's okay.
This is the Camel's Yarn BFL sock set. First of all, the Camel's Yarn is my favorite hand dyer. When I look at her hanks, I truly see art. It's like very impressive. The way she dyes, the consistency, and the color choices and the combinations. And the tag, like, are you kidding? It's this double tag and it has a really pretty cardboard. And then the actual logo is on this canvas. I don't know. The way she twists her hanks is also so impressive and neat. They just look like little jewels, you know? When I saw this, I was inspired, I was moved, I was touched. It had to be mine, and I'm so excited to create with this.
There it is.
I've been hard at work looking for the perfect
Sort of
pattern
like
for
pastel
this.
yellow and
A
pink.
contender, a very strong contender, is the Cozy Cocoa Hood by Kutovatica.
No.
I don't know if
I
this
don't
will work.
like
I just
this
have to
kind of
swatch it.
knits.
So
I
the
don't
gauge
like
she
it.
calls for is 19 stitches over 10 centimeters in a honeycomb stitch pattern, holding one strand of mohair and one strand of merino together after blocking. So this is obviously fingering weight yarn, and I'm planning to hold it with some leftover mohair. So here is my bag of leftover mohair. This is also a kind reminder to use your leftover mohair with maybe one skein projects. I have some pink, some yellow, and some cream that I think would pair up so well with the skein, specifically the yellow or the pink. It just looks straight out of a fairy tale. The design in itself of the little hood obviously reminds me of Little Red Riding Hood because the sample is also knit in red, but I think paired in this color scheme is gonna look like an actual fairy dust goodness creation. So, but this is all to say that you could pick a really special hand-dyed yarn at your local yarn shop. It would just make such a special gift because, first of all, such color scheme and such color variegation is basically impossible to find commercially at a store. But
This
also,
one?
it's hand-dyed. Like, you know, the entire process from start to finish, from the creation of the
Okay.
yarn to the completion of the product is so bespoke and one of a kind. I got carried away by how gorgeous this is and forgot to tell you what the colorway is. So this is Flora Day sock set. It's 100 grams of the main color, which is 425 meters, and then the mini is 20 grams and 85 meters. Another bigger gift knit that's actually kind of fast is a loose gauge, quite open fabric t-shirt. Something
what?
like a ranunculus made on 6mm needles
Oh my
with a
God.
fingering weight yarn. I have this skein of Nelly and Eve Dale's 50/50, which is 100 grams, 450 meters. It's a fingering weight yarn, 50% BFL and 50%
I like this
Masham.
color.
This would be so perfect for a ranunculus. I really love the look of Beautiful Knitters Enovets. They also have the Dead Easy, which is really, really cute, and those are a bit more simple than the ranunculus, if maybe the ranunculus is not necessarily your style. Speaking of t-shirts, I wanted to show you some yarn that I'm planning to use for the Innovets by Beautiful Knitters. That's one I've been wanting to make for a while, and it's this Cardiff Cashmere Classic in the shade 687. It's this gorgeous pale cool pink. It's so cute. This was actually a gift from Tao, who's the beautiful human behind the Knitting Swan, who makes my favorite knitting project bags, drawstring bags, everything. They're amazing. If you really want to make someone a cashmere garment, first of all, you're an absolute angel, but also, you know, making a sweater requires what, like 10 plus skeins of cashmere, and that's super, super expensive. So a t-shirt is kind of like a midpoint, and yeah, you might consider that if that fits the budget as well, but it's really, really lovely. Something else you can make with 2 skeins of cashmere are some nice cowls. So I'll just select a few and put them on the screen. Maybe you'll find some that you really enjoy. I think it's really good with budget because it's what, like £32 for 2 skeins, and it's just gorgeous, luxurious yarn. I think you would honestly make an incredible gift. Let me conclude with some honorable mentions, which are a mix of things that you can make for people, but also stuff that you can get for yourself. So I've been obsessed with Mari Wallen. She makes the most gorgeous kits ever. She's the colorwork queen. Making something from her, like a sock or a mitten from her for someone, honestly, anything in the new Rose knit book would be insane. In fact, let me go through a list of books that I think would be really good for a variety of people. So the Rose knit book, someone who's a bit edgier, who's more experimental, like an industrial high fashion sort of person. On the other end of the spectrum, if the gift is for someone who's more into classical silhouettes and really pretty feminine embellishments, the perfect book is Memory Lane by Claudia Quintanilla. It's so, so beautiful and girly. It really holds like a special nostalgic aesthetic that's so, so beautiful and delicate. There's a beautiful new book from Lane Publishing. I don't think that's how you pronounce it. Is it Line? Please let me know in the comments because I'm not sure how to say it. Line, but they came out with Nordic Knits, captivating one-off issue dedicated entirely to Nordic knitting traditions and aesthetics. It's so beautiful. Every single pattern is gorgeous. I would make it like that. Almost never happens. It only happens with the Rose book. I know this book has been really popular. I've seen a lot of people purchase it. So yeah, I've recently just finished my Hershon Bomber by Kit Couture, and I had so much fun making it, and it was so effortless because I actually bought the kit. If you have a lot going on, I think knitting from a kit can help massively. Everything's just there ready for you and you don't have to do a lot of thinking other than the knitting. I would suggest you go on the Kit Couture website and see what kits they have, and they might inspire you for some gift knits. And look at that, I went through the whole list on my laptop. That was very long. I kind of have a sore throat from all the talking, but I love thinking about gifts and gift knitting. I cannot wait to read what you guys are making for your friends and family. Just know that these pieces you're hand making for others are bringing so much joy.
Possibly.
And also, I feel like a knitted gift is amongst the most wonderful material gifts you can give someone. Don't forget to share with me what's currently on your needles while watching this. With barely any voice left in my cords, I'll go on vocal rest and I'll have my lunch. But I wanted to thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of the video and hanging out with me today. As always, I'll leave my Instagram on screen in case you'd like to follow my creations more in real time. And I'll say bye for now, but I hope to see you in my next video.
Very cool video. I loved it. So, friends, I've been knitting for an hour. Let's check the results on the election. Once again, we have elections today. 46%, not even 50%. Please, 50%. 1.3 million people came to vote. Let's see the most active districts. This is the map of my country, Moldova. And the darker the color, the more voter turnout. So I think 45% in Dondusheni is the highest. Ungheni, this is my home district. 41, 42, 40, 41, 42, 45. And this is the capital city. Obviously, it's the darkest because it has the highest density. 42, 37, 34, 34, 38. Let's see, my home district, 40. Okay. 42. Let's see abroad. It's still under, I think it's about 10. Because it doesn't say the percentage, it says only the people. Because we don't know how many Moldovans live abroad, but we know how many are voting only. So, and we have 53% women and 46% men. And let's go to the country, no, let's go total. Again, 54% women voters versus 45 men, and then the age brackets. Okay, 46%. Okay, I am happier now. I would have loved if more people would come to vote for the presidential elections. Okay, that being said, friends, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I think it's time for me to go and stretch my legs because my leg is asleep completely. That's my leg. The other one, completely asleep. So I think it's time for me to go and stretch. It's been such a nice hour. I've managed to knit quite a bit. I started away somewhere here. Hold on. My sweater is completely twisted. Just a reminder, I am knitting on a sleeve. And I was somewhere here and I did like halfway more. So lots of work more to go, but that's okay. Slowly, slowly, I'm making good progress. There we go. And one more important thing, I'm working with this beautiful chocolate brown merino wool, and it's such a pleasure to work on it. It's not very soft and it's not very rough. It's just the right amount. So I'm loving it. It's a very nice experience. The only problem is my leg fell asleep and I really need to move it. So thank you so much. Give this video a thumbs up before you go. And thank you, lovely people, for spending this time with me. So, thank you, Shetika Woods and Peter and Vladimir, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I'm waiting until you guys leave. I feel bad for leaving first. Bye-bye. Nice to see you. Until the next time.